Alright, after my vise kind of crapped my knife out, I went back and I cleaned up the spine. That's your 400 grit finish. Nice and flush all the way down. And just figure out a way to hold the knife, guys. It's easier than I make it look. So, yeah, that's it. Look, we're done. I'm just kidding. I gotta clean up all this crap. I just unwrapped it. So, once again, with a good buddy, Mr. WD-40, we're gonna soak the blade, get all that glue residue from the tape off, and for the first time, we get to see what our finished knife is going to look like with just our very last step of sharpening. And I'll show you how I do it, both on the grinder and off the grinder. Well, we're getting there. Still got some cleaning to do here. Have to get in there with some Q-tips and get those corners. Now I decided I'm not going to do a sheath tutorial, at least not yet, just for the fact that this has taken me a lot longer than I thought. Just all the shooting and editing video, and by the time you see this, I hadn't had a video on YouTube in almost a month. So I just want to not delay it any longer and just get some videos out there for you guys to watch before you forget I exist. Yeah, just clean it up some more in the direction of the grind. You don't get any strange scratching, but that's pretty much it, guys. Check it out. You know, this ugly G10 isn't so bad after all. It's still ugly, not my thing. Maybe you guys think it's beautiful, but the fact that it was made by hand makes it gorgeous. That's the way I see it. Okay, so I'm going to finish cleaning this up. We'll sharpen it on the grinder, the initial sharpening. This is just how I do it. We'll do the initial edge, and then I'll take it to some waterstones and put that final edge on it. And I'll take you along for that ride too. We're going to put an initial bevel on here. And some people just leave it like that off the grinder. I like to finish up the edge on a waterstone. But for now, you see we're still at that about 10 thousandths degree edge, or maybe a little more, 15 thousandths, whatever it was. I'm going to take it down, and if you could see how the bottom is clearly shiny. I'm just going to make that into a V until it's not shiny anymore. It might be sharp enough to cut paper, but I want it sharper than that. So I'm going to go nice and slow, and I'm going to use the back of my hand as a guide. So I'll start off in the sharpening notch, just like this, and look on the GoPro, make sure that's rolling so you can see it. I'll use this as a guide, and I'll just drag it into the tip. Okay? Very light pressure. Do not put your weight behind this. Just if you have to make 30 passes, make 30 passes. Okay? Just take your time. Don't overheat the cutting edge. And nice and slow. This is a fresh 220 grit belt. I'm about a 20-25 degree angle. Maybe a little less. Maybe a 15. I don't know. I just kind of guess. See, there's one pass. Just barely on there. So I'll make another one. A little better. And now you want to look for trouble spots. Okay? So maybe back here, typically for me is a trouble spot by the sharpening notch. And if you look at the edge, I'm thinner towards the tip than I am at the heel, so I got to put a little more pressure towards the heel. Be careful towards that tip, it's easy to smoke it. Alright, so I've done a few passes on the one side. That one, yeah, that one. So now I'm going to flip it over, and it's not sharp yet, and that's good, I don't want it sharp yet. Because now I have to even it out and do the same 3 or so passes on the other side. I'm going to have to move these over a little bit. Now, if you watch my body language when I'm holding it, I'm not moving my arms. I'm tipping my shoulder to follow that nose to get the tip of the knife. So I'm holding it, tipping my shoulder. So this way my arms are locked into my side and I'm not doing one of these. Don't mind all the fingerprints, I'm covered in WD-40. Now if we look at the cutting edge, see it's starting to really thin out. It's sharp in a few spots. The spots where it's not so sharp, towards the back of course, I'll give it a little more love and make sure it's even. Alright, we're definitely starting to get sharp towards the tip. The back still needs a little bit more. Let's switch back to the other side. Now this method takes longer than convexing the edge, where people put it on the flat portion of the belt. That works, and it's more forgiving to do it on the convex edge, and then hit it with a buffer or something like that. I like to put a classic V edge, so when you guys buy a knife from me and you dull it, you can put an edge on fairly easily. Now at this point, we're starting to get sharp, and now I can feel a burr. I just sharpened this side. I can feel a burr on the opposite side. So I know I'm hitting that apex. So this is just starting to get sharp now. So now I'll go to the other side and knock that burr off. Very light pressure. Okay. From here forward is nice and, well, a very, very, very toothy edge. But good enough to take to the stone. I just got to do from here back, it's starting to get there. You see, I keep testing the edge. You'll know a sharp edge when you feel one. Go a little more in the back. There we go. Okay. Oh, almost cut myself already. So let's see. That's our very, very rough edge. And to give you an idea of how sharp it is so far, let me back you up. I'll get something to cut. So I'm expecting it not to cut phone book paper and get snagged. So I got some of this. Let me back you out here. Wrong way. This is like magazine paper, this stuff. So it's just as hard to cut as phone book paper. So this is the edge I have now. It's ripping. Very toothy and aggressive. It can get through it if I saw it. So definitely not the edge you want to give somebody. Okay? So now, at least we know it cuts, kinda. You're not going to be able to shave with it, and it's not cleanly slicing this. So I'm going to take it to a 1000 grit Chocero Waterstone, and I'll show you how to do that. We'll finish up this edge and we'll do some cut tests. Alright guys, you saw that we got our edge pretty good off the grinder, but it's not where we want it to be. We want this thing real sharp. So I have here my 1000 grit Chocero stone in a Universal Suhiro base, as you can see. I've been really liking these Japanese waterstones lately, and this one by far is my favorite. So if you get one, go for the 1000. It seems to leave a nice toothy edge, and that is kind of my preference. I have a 5000 as well to put that nice little polished edge on it, and if that's your preference, that's pretty good too. So first things first, we're going to wet our stone. Now if you prefer to use a Lansky system or however you like to sharpen, that's completely fine, because we set our initial bevel on the grinder. Now for this, I'm just going to true up the stone, and what I'm using here is an Atoma diamond plate. I did a review on them a long time ago, and this is just going to get our stone nice and flat. The one downside of waterstones is the maintenance involved, but it's really not so bad. Alright, let's call that flat enough. Made a little bit of a slurry, and that's just fine. We want the slurry. A little more water. The Choceros you don't have to soak. It's kind of a splash and go kind of stone. Alright, so now you're going to use the hand holding the handle as a guide to set your angle. Okay? That's where you have the most leverage. Don't try and do it on the blade or anything like that. So I use a pinch grip like that, and I like to start at the tip. And what I'll do is I'll take one finger or two fingers and I'll put it on the tip to kind of guide it, and that'll be my pressure on my left side. So my finger is applying pressure on the side, this hand is keeping the angle and applying pressure towards the back, and we're just going to keep that angle nice and consistent. Now if you notice, I'm rocking my body. Now what that does is allow you to keep that angle a little easier. So when you're new at this, if you have to rock back and forth like this, by all means do so. It'll help you out. Now the nice thing with waterstones, this type in particular, is that they give you feedback. Now they make a particular sound when you're on the right angle, and when you come off the angle it'll make a different sound. Hear that? Oh, hopefully the camera picked that up. I don't want to grind too much at the wrong angle. We're just going to go back and forth and back and forth. Right now I'm just worried about setting a burr on the other side. Now, that is my main objective. So once I get that burr raised, I'm going to switch to the other side. Now you want to make sure you pull that handle up and get that tip. Alright, see that's a pretty wild angle, but that's what I need to do to get that tip. And don't forget to put the pressure in the heel. Now I'm not putting any kind of guerrilla force into this. I'd say about a medium pressure. You could also do it like this. However it feels more comfortable and natural to you, because that is what your body is going to want to do. It's going to want to default to that. So if you force it to do something that you don't have in your muscle memory, you have a higher likelihood of screwing it up. Or just chalk that up to learning and go from there. So now we have a pretty good burr on there. I don't know if you guys can you hear that? Yeah, okay. So same thing, I'm going to switch hands. Now some people, of course, just like grinding, your right hand or your left hand is going to be better than the other one. So there are guys that do this and they keep it all in their right hand, the angle, and you could go back like this, or you could do it opposite hand, your weak hand, and go at it like that. I do a little bit of both, just whatever you're more comfortable with, and that's the way you should do it. As long as you get the results you're after, then you're not wrong. Okay. I'd say we're pretty well established now. So what I'm going to do to try and even that edge out is I'm going to flip it over and I'm going to start counting passes to get a nice apex. Yeah, we're pretty sharp. Okay, so I'll go something like 10 passes on this side. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Might have a bit of a trouble spot towards the heel, but it came off the grinder that way, so it might not be so bad. Now, one thing about this grit and green crap all over the knife, don't get your hands all in there and start smearing it around the blade like when you're holding it, because there is abrasives in there and you could mark up the blade. Let me get my pinch grip going. There we go. I'm just counting off my passes. 9, and I believe that's 10. So now we'll switch over, switch to the other side. Do 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Back to the other side. 5 more. 1, 2, 3, and listen to that stone. Let it tell you where to go. 4, 5. Okay, now I'm going to do 3 stropping passes per side, so just away from you. 1, 2, and 3. Same thing other side. There's 1, 2, and 3. Okay, where'd my paper towel go? Hold it right there. I'll be right back. I gotta get paper towels. Alright, I'm back. Sorry about that. I came unprepared. Got some paper towels, and I also went and grabbed my strop. So, what we're gonna do is clean this off. We'll spray most of that grit off. I don't want to. Whoa, geez, that was smart. I don't want to rub all that around. And that water bottle is just that. It's just nothing but water. So clean that off. Okay. Now let's give it a cut test without stropping. We've got some phone book paper here. Very difficult to slice cleanly. I don't know, you guys tell me, what do you think? Oh, of course. I had to open my mouth. There we go. Alright, so now, we're pretty sharp. Just to clean that edge up a little bit, I got my strop here. And I'll give it a couple passes. I don't know, 5 a side sounds good. 3, 4, and 5. Now, while you're doing this, you want to test periodically. See where you're at, where the edge, where your problem spots are. You know, if you have something in the middle of the belly that's you got a dead spot there, just won't slice cleanly. Frequent cut tests during your sharpening session will let you know where to go. Much, much better. See? Doesn't take a whole lot. You don't have to strop the thing for an hour. That's just ridiculous. Oh. Stupid. There we go. Beautiful. And we'll do one more. I'll get up nice and close. You want to, hopefully the wind will calm down a little bit. Ideally, I would do the same side. But you want to start from the very back of the edge and kind of push it through. Get the whole length of the blade. You see? No hang-ups in there. I'll do that again. Nice, slow. Make sure you get every bit of that blade cutting through it. Make sure you get that tip too. Whoop. Come on, get in there. There we go. Down to the tip. It seems I might have a tiny bit of a dead spot at the very tip, but that's why we do these cut tests. So we're just going to clean that up, and that I could probably just strop out. A couple more passes on the strop. Make sure you get your angles right, and that's it. You should be good to go. But that's how I sharpen my knives that I make. Start off on the grinder, end up on a stone, and as you can see, I don't know if that'll show up on camera. Can you guys see that? I could shave my face with that. That's a beautiful thing, guys. Alright, I'll clean off my DNA, and I'll come to you with one more video. I promise it's the last one, of just a final wrap-up. Alright guys, thanks for watching, and this is Mike from Ecom Knives. I'll see you on the next video.